Okay, let's dive in. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture a time, not that long ago really, when the person you hoped would save your life, well, they were actually your biggest fear.
More feared than death itself for many.
Exactly. We're talking operating theaters, and yeah, they really were like theaters, but filled with screams, the smell. Oh God, the smell of unwashed bodies, just pure terror.
And the surgeons themselves, in these black coats, stiff with old blood, seen as a badge of honor, rushing, just racing the
Trying to
climb.
cut faster than the patient died from shock. It's a horrifying picture, isn't it?
Truly.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into how surgery went from that nightmare to the incredibly precise, life-saving thing we know today.
It's an amazing journey, really. Our sources show this cascade of revolutions, one after another, that completely transformed it, from butchery, essentially, to precision medicine.
Let's set that scene first, that age of agony.
Hmm.
Before the 19th century, surgery wasn't really, well, it wasn't a respected medical field, was it?
Not at all. It was the absolute last resort. Surgeons were often tradesmen, barbers, sometimes even butchers.
Right, the barber pole with the red and white stripes, that comes from blood and bandages, doesn't it?
It does. And their tools were crude, often dull, their knowledge of anatomy,
Mm.
patchy at best.
And the conditions. You mentioned the smell. Hospitals were apparently just foul places.
Oh, indescribably grim, filthy operating rooms, often in hospitals that just reeked of decay and sickness.
And the surgeons. Those coats you mentioned, the blood-stiffened ones, they wore them like that.
You did, like badges of experience. And they'd go from patient to patient, procedure to procedure, using unwashed hands, unsterilized instruments.
It's just staggering. Were the outcomes really as bad as that sounds?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at some historical analysis, London hospitals in the 1800s, sometimes an 80% mortality rate after operations.
80%.
80, mostly from infection. Amputations were common, and maybe 40, even 50% of those patients died from sepsis.
Sepsis infection. But didn't they realize?
That's the unbelievable part. They actually celebrated something called laudable pus.
Laudable, you mean praiseworthy.
Exactly. They thought pus draining from a wound was a good sign, part of healing. They had no concept of bacteria, of germs causing infection.
So the patient experience, they were awake through all this.
Fully awake, often strapped down, held down by assistants, enduring procedures we can't even imagine without any pain relief.
Speed was the only thing the surgeon could offer then.
The only mercy. Cut ass, get it over with. But even then, shock or massive blood loss often killed them before infection even got a chance.
You can understand why people might genuinely prefer death to facing the knife. Surgeons must have been truly terrifying figures.
Absolutely dreaded.
Yeah.
So that was the baseline, the age of agony.
Okay, so how did things start to change? What was the first big breakthrough? You'd think maybe sharper knives or something?
Surprisingly, no. The first huge leap wasn't about technique. It was about conquering pain, giving the patient the gift of oblivion.
Anesthesia. I've heard about early experiments, like with nitrous oxide. Laughing gas.
Yeah, nitrous oxide was known back in the 1700s, but mostly as a kind of party trick, believe it or not.
Party trick. Wow.
The real turning point was 1846, the Ether Dome at Massachusetts General Hospital.
All right, the famous demonstration.
That's the one. A dentist, William T.G. Morton, used ether to anesthetize a patient, Gilbert Abbott,
And the surgeon.
John Collins Warren. He removed a tumor from Abbott's neck, and silence, no screams.
This has been stunning for everyone there.
Absolutely revolutionary.
Yeah.
Warren famously announced, "Gentlemen, this is no humbug." And that was it. Ether anesthesia just took off, spread worldwide almost instantly.
Because suddenly surgeons had time.
Exactly. They could stop racing the clock. They could be more careful, more precise. Procedures could be longer, more complex.
Were there other anesthetics too?
Yes. Fairly quickly. James Young Simpson introduced chloroform in 1847, and it got a huge boost in popularity, kind of royal approval, when Queen Victoria used it during childbirth in 1853.
So operating theaters transformed. From places of torture to, well, actual workspaces.
Focused workspaces.
Mm-hmm.
And the impact was measurable. By around 1860, surgical deaths had dropped by maybe 30%, mostly because fewer people were dying from shock on the table.
Okay, so pain is conquered. That feels like a massive victory.
It was a monumental gift.
Mm-hmm.
But, and this is critical,
Yeah.
it created a new problem, or rather made an existing one much worse.
How so?
Because now surgeons were doing longer operations, probing deeper into the body,
Mm-hmm.
but still with those same dirty hands and unsterilized tools.
So more time for infection to take hold.
Precisely. Anesthesia inadvertently ramped up the risk of deadly postoperative infections. They solved the pain problem, but the infection problem became even more glaring.
Which leads us to the next big revolution, I assume, tackling that unseen enemy.
Exactly. Defeating infection. And the key figure here is Joseph Lister.
Lister. The name sounds familiar, like Listerine.
Same guy, essentially. Well, the product was named in his honor. He was a British surgeon in the 1860s, and he was deeply troubled by the death rates on his own ward. Something like 46% mortality after amputations.
He must have felt desperate. What gave him the idea?
He was aware of Louis Pasteur's work in France. Pasteur was showing that microscopic organisms' germs cause decay and fermentation.
The germ theory.
Yeah.
Which wasn't widely accepted yet, right?
Not in surgery, no. Lister made the connection. He thought maybe these same invisible germs are causing infections in wounds.
So what did he do? How did he test it?
His breakthrough came in 1865. A young boy with a compound fracture bone piercing the skin, a type of injury that almost always got infected and led to amputation or death.
Right. A really dangerous injury back then.
Lister treated the wound with bandages soaked in carbolic acid, also called phenol. It was known to kill germs, used in things like treating sewage.
And the boy.
His wound healed cleanly, no infection. It was remarkable.
So Lister developed a whole system around this.
He did. His antiseptic system. It involved sterilizing instruments with carbolic acid, washing hands thoroughly before and during surgery, even spraying a mist of carbolic acid in the air of the operating room.
Sounds like it would smell pretty strong.
Oh, sure it did. But the results were dramatic. By 1870, mortality rates on his wards had plummeted down to around 15%.
15%. Still high by today's standards, but a massive improvement from nearly 50.
A huge leap. But he faced resistance.
Really? With results like that?
Oh, yeah. Many surgeons clung to that old laudable pus idea. They found his methods fussy, time-consuming. Some just didn't believe in the germ theory.
But the evidence eventually won out?
It did. Lister was meticulous about documenting his results.
Slowly?
His antiseptic principles became the foundation of modern sterile surgery. We got autoclaves for steam sterilization. Rubber gloves appeared by the 1890s.
So that was the second revolution. Pain conquered, then infection controlled. Surgery starts looking a lot safer.
Much safer. It's moving from being a desperate gamble to something approaching a science. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How something as basic as washing hands took so long to become standard practice.
It does. Makes you wonder what we're missing now. Okay, so pain and infection are tackled. What's next? Seeing inside the body.
Exactly. The third revolution is really about precision. And a big part of that was being able to see the invisible and making the whole process gentler.
X-rays.
That was the start. Wilhelm Röntgen's discovery in 1895 was revolutionary. Suddenly, surgeons could see fractures, locate bullets or foreign objects before even making a cut. It changed surgical planning completely.
And then imaging got even more sophisticated.
Much more. Fast forward to the 1970s, you get CT scans, then MRIs. These gave surgeons incredible, detailed 3D maps of the inside of the body, guiding their hands, allowing for much more precise interventions.
But it wasn't just about seeing, it was also about doing things less invasively, right? Smaller cuts.
Absolutely. That's the other side of this third revolution. Starting in the 1960s, we see the development of endoscopy.
Those tiny cameras on tubes.
Right, camera-tip tubes that could be inserted through small openings. This led directly to laparoscopy, or keyhole surgery.
Which lets surgeons do major operations through tiny incisions.
Exactly. Things like removing a gallbladder, which used to mean a big open cut, could now be done with minimal trauma. The results were, and are, impressive.
How much better is it?
Significantly. Complications reduced by maybe 70% compared to open surgery for many procedures, and recovery time cut from weeks down to days.
That's huge for patients. Less pain, less scarring, back to life faster.
It really marked a shift towards gentler, more humane surgery. Less reliance on big, traumatic incisions. Precision became key.
Which logically leads us to robots.
The surgeon's new hands, you could say. The fourth revolution. Robotics and AI.
This feels very recent, but didn't the ideas start a while ago?
They did. Early robotic systems were being explored back in the 1980s, but it really hit the mainstream around the year 2000 with the FDA approval of the Da Vinci surgical system.
Ah, yes, the Da Vinci. How does that actually work? Is the robot doing the surgery?
Not quite. The surgeon is still in complete control. They sit at a console, often nearby, looking at a highly magnified 3D view of the surgical site.
Why?
And they use hand controls to manipulate tiny robotic arms inserted into the patient. The system filters out any hand tremors, and the robotic wrists can move with far greater dexterity than a human hand.
allowing for incredibly fine, precise movements.
Exactly. Perfect for really intricate procedures like prostatectomies or complex heart valve repairs.
And wasn't there that operation done from across the Atlantic?
Operation Lindbergh in 2001. That was amazing. A surgeon in New York operated on a patient in Strasbourg, France, removing her gallbladder, using telesurgery, controlling the robot remotely.
Wow, that really points towards a future where your surgeon could be anywhere in the world.
It hints at that possibility, certainly, breaking down geographical barriers to expertise.
And now AI is getting involved too.
Increasingly, we're seeing AI integrated to help plan surgeries, guide the surgeon's instruments, analyze images during the procedure, even predict potential complications. Some studies are showing improved success rates with AI assistance.
So robots offer enhanced precision, less error, potentially faster recovery.
And wider access to expert care. Millions of robotic surgeries have been performed globally now. It's this fusion of human skill and machine precision setting a new standard.
So if we look back across this whole journey, it's just incredible. These revolutions have totally changed how we see surgery, haven't they?
Completely reshaped its image. From that dreaded figure, the surgeon racing death, to this highly trained, highly trusted expert healer.
Each step played a vital role. Anesthesia took away the screams.
Antiseptics fought the infections.
Imaging let surgeons see what they were doing with unprecedented clarity.
And robotics and AI are now refining that precision to an incredible degree.
The contrast is stark. You mentioned those early mortality rates,
Yeah.
and now
Well, surgery always carries risks, but the outcomes are vastly different. And public perception is flipped. Surveys show maybe only 20% of people trusted surgeons back in 1850.
and now.
Now it's something like 85% viewing surgeons as trusted experts. Hospitals went from being places people feared they'd die in to places they go expecting to be healed.
Sanctuaries of hope, really. It's an amazing story of human ingenuity overcoming immense challenges.
A true triumph over our own limitations and fears.
So, to recap, from those blood-soaked coats and terrifying theaters to AI-guided robotic arms, the evolution of surgery is just one of science's most remarkable stories. Anesthesia, antiseptics, imaging, robotics, each built on the last, transforming fear into faith.
It truly is an incredible testament to progress.
And before we wrap up, if stories like this fascinate you, if you want to keep digging deeper into science, history, and how things change, you should definitely check out Mind Expansion Daily.
Yeah, it's a great place for exactly this kind of information and insight.
Absolutely. You can find more deep dives, expand your mind, definitely worth a visit. And hey, while you're thinking about it, please do like and subscribe to Mind Expansion Daily right here. It helps us bring you more content like this.
We'd also love to hear what you think.
Yes. What surgical breakthrough we talked about today impressed you the most? Was it anesthesia, Lister, robotics?
Or maybe something else we touched on?
Let us know in the comments below. Tell us if you agree with our summary or if you have a different take. We genuinely want to hear your thoughts.
And maybe leave you with one final thought to mull over.
Go for it.
Thinking about this whole journey, what current medical challenge, something that seems almost insurmountable today, might be completely transformed by an unexpected revolution in the next 100 years?
Turning today's source of fear into tomorrow's routine miracle. Something to think about.